The purpose of this video is to show you how we can use Notability to write in responses for math equations. We're going to be looking at a couple different ways that you can zoom the surface area so that we have a larger area for writing out a response. So let's open up Notability. We need to import the document or the materials. So if you go to the right-hand corner, you'll see a little box with an arrow pointing down, which means import. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to import from my Google Drive in my Notability folder. You can see here, this is an Excel template or worksheet. However, when it imports, it will import it in as a PDF. So I select it. It's downloading. It might take a minute or two. Then you will see this. Hit create a new note. Or you can add it to another note. So if this is one of a pack of 15 worksheets, you can just continue to keep adding to that pack of worksheets every time you import a new one. I am not going to import all of them. Deselect all. I'm just going to import the first one and the second one so that I have additional work area. And then I'll hit import. And I can hit done. And now you'll see that I have the worksheet sitting here in my accessibility folder. So then I'll select it and sorry, get it up. So here is my document. As you can see, this is exactly like the worksheet that I imported. You'll see at the very top, I have a couple different tools. I have a T, which will allow me to create a text box. So I'll select the T just so you can see, and under name, type in name. There we go. Of it. Just put in student, and I can move this wherever I need it to be. I also have, right next to the T is a pencil tool and a highlighter tool and then an eraser tool. So those are your writing tools that you will be using. The scissors is a cut tool. Your hand tool is more for navigating and moving around. So if I select that, it allows me to move things around where I want. So I'm going here. I don't have anything to move around right now. But when I want to solve this problem, a couple of different things. The one thing I'm going to use is I'm going to probably use this pencil tool. So if I select the pencil tool, right now it's red. If I hold my finger down on it, I can change the color. I can make it green, although I'm not going to because I have a green background here. You can also change the width of how large of a marking it makes. You can have it be more of a straight or more calligraphy style. So I'm going to select the first one. I'm just going to leave it at red so that it will stand out and you'll be able to see it well. Once the pencil tool is selected, here are your two options. You'll see at the bottom there is a box, or I'm sorry, there is a box in the corner with a plus sign. If I select that, what happens is I end up with a magnifying box. So you can see at the top I have a box that is blue, and it's highlighting, which you can see in the bottom, that particular section. So I can move this to where I want it to be. This is nice for kids who struggle with reading as well. I can move it where I want it to be. I can put it right here, because this is where I'm going to be completing the work. And I can say, Jeff is making pancakes. He only uses 3/4 of his batter. What percentage of the batter does he use? So while my pencil, I can add this in. So I'll put a 4 and a 3. Then I'm going to add a 0. So this is going to be 7, 28. Now you see we're running out of room. So what I can do up here is I can move my text box to give me more room. Select line, 2, 0. Pay attention to what I'm doing here. But then you see I got to move the line back up here to say what would that be? 5. So it's going to be 75%. And then I just tap on the magnifying glass with the plus sign again, and I'm back to where I started from. So that's one way that you can do it. Now for some students that might be a little challenging because we do have to navigate the magnifying window. I did look into, can we make that magnifying window larger? We can't make it any larger than it is. I can make it smaller than it is, which would be great for kids who are reading. But as far as writing, that's as large as I can get it. So that may be a good tool. It may not. The other option you would have is, instead of using the magnifying, you could just use your fingers and pinch it to make it larger, and then you could write. So again, I'm writing the same problem that I had before. I can do 4 over 3, I add the zeros, 7, 28, 2, bring down to 0, 5, equals, and then I would use 2 fingers to slide over for more space, which is not a hard tool to, not really that difficult, 75%. You saw the one thing it did though is even after I slid with my 2 fingers, it does kind of move on its own. For some students who have more of a spastic movement, that may be a challenge, but it could also be something they just learn. The downside to doing it this way though is you lose sight of the question. So if I pinch out, here's my question, but I had to pinch, I had to zoom in to solve the problem, but it may lead me from being able to still see the question. So unless the student's question is directly in front of them, that might be a challenge. Either way, I think it's a good tool for students to use to be able to annotate if they need a larger surface area.